Hello and welcome to the In Focus series section of Drishti IAS. I am Aisha Singh, and in today's video we will be discussing about the food supply situation in India because the monsoon is about to begin. First, let us look at the timeline. First, we will be looking at the news. Then, what is the situation of wheat, sugar, milk, edible oil and pulses in India? And then in the end, the prelims MCQ. This topic is of relevance from General Studies paper 3, which is economy. From exam perspective, this becomes important from GS paper 3 economy, mains answer writing and few of the facts from prelims. Now let's get started. The news has been taken from Indian Express and it says, ahead of monsoon season, what is the food supply situation? Because the monsoon is about to begin and we have already seen that few of the drizzles of the southwest monsoon have already occurred and majorly the monsoon will begin now. So what is the food supply situation? So what is the availability of different food samples in our country before the monsoon begins? So what has happened is the Kharif plantings are set to take off with the southwest monsoon. So the southwest monsoon is about to begin and few of the drills have already taken place. So the Kharif crops or the Kharif season is about to start. So first of all, what are Kharif crops? Kharif crops, for example, pulses, rice, maize. So these are examples of Kharif crops, and Kharif crops get sown at around the time of beginning of the southwest monsoon, because Kharif crops are water intensive crops. They need a lot of water. So the rainfall and the monsoon season becomes utmost important for the good happening of the Kharif crops. So according to the Indian Meteorological Department, which has identified and reiterated its earlier forecast of just about normal rainfall during the season. So the IMD has said that this time the rainfall would be normal and good during the time of June to September, that is the southwest monsoon, and the southwest monsoon enters the India from the Kerala coast. So the supply and demand balances in key food commodities is comfortable. So the supply and demand balances, because many a times we see that if the rainfall does not happen properly and the rainfall is not good and there is deficit rainfall, then the demand rises while the supply decreases. So this creates an imbalance between the demand and the supply chain. So no shortages for now. A great deal hinges on the monsoon. So as of now, we do not see a shortage in any kind of food supplement, be it wheat, sugar, rice or edible oils or pulses. So monsoon is predicted to be good. So, and few of the characteristics of monsoon that matters is special and temporal. Special because the southwest monsoon or the supply of rainfall, that is rain across major agricultural regions, because the major agricultural regions, in those regions the rainfall has to be good and the monsoon has to be good, because in that particular and specific regions, if the monsoon and the rainfall is not good and is deficient as at that point of region, then this creates a problem. Then temporal, because during the crucial sowing and vegetative growth stages, because at that particular stage, be it sowing stage or vegetative stage, if at that point of time the monsoon or the rainfall is not good, then the Kharif crops, which are extremely water intensive, this creates a problem for them. So the two important points are special and temporal. And then this good monsoon can have a implication on RBI and the government. RBI on its monetary policy, because RBI also have to look into the perspective of southwest monsoon and how the cropping season of India is going, because they have to see whether they have to raise, cut or do not have to change the interest rates depending on the outlook for inflation. And inflation has a lot to do with the supply and demand chain. So that is how it impacts RBI and the government in a year leading to national elections in the March-April 2024. So if the rainfall or the monsoon or the southwest monsoon would not be good, then the government will also have to take many major steps looking into the perspective that the cropping patterns or the cropping season of India, how is it going. So now let's look at different cropping supply status of wheat first of all. Then wheat is unseasonal rain plus gusty wind, that is March to early April. So this has happened in 2023. March and early April we have seen the unseasonal rain, and this was because of the western disturbances. This caused the standing wheat to lodge in many places. Lodge means the bending of the wheat crops. Like for example, if you will see that if the wheat crop is standing like this, so because of the unseasonal rain and heavy winds, the crops have lodged down like this. So this is like kind of usual, and this is what has happened. So this has caused many wheat crops to lodge down, that means bend over or even fall flat in many places. And this in the early March and April, this caused a concern. But with time, now things are fine and are normal. So yield losses, that is crop was in the final grain filling and ripening stages, seemingly weren't as much as initially apprehended. So initially when the unseasonal rain and heavy winds were taking place, it was supposed or it was predicted that this will lead to very heavy losses, but this did not happen, and little loss, and I would say not much, and the loss was manageable. What was predicted did not happen, and the loss was manageable at that point of time. So the government agencies procuring about 29 metric ton of wheat against last year's 18.8 metric ton, the lowest since 2007. So this year even the government agencies have procured a very high number of wheat, that is high quantity of wheat, that is 29 metric ton of wheat, which is way more than what they procured last year. Then they were compensated by the 41.7 metric ton of rice in government godowns. So with wheat, the government also compensated with rice. So if you will see that the wheat procurement was 29 metric ton and the rice procurement was 41.7 metric ton. And the combined stock of both wheat, that is 29, and rice, that is 41.7, becomes around 70.7 metric ton. So this should easily meet the requirements of the public distribution system and the welfare scheme, because majorly we will see that in the public distribution system the government is distributing at a minimal cost, that is wheat, rice and pulses at a very minimal cost. So the center is now issuing only 5 kg of grain per person per month, while this 5 kg of grain was changed and was increased to 10 kg of grain in the post-COVID period. So during the post-COVID period, the government was giving per person 10 kg, but now it has reduced it to 5 kg. So during the time of COVID or the post-COVID period, the government had to procure more, but now because the situation has improved and the physical activities have started, so now the government would be procuring and would be distributing to per person less, that is from 10 kg to again back to 5 kgs. So if you will look at this graph, this talks about wheat stocks in central pool on May 1, 2023. So if you will see that these are the years, that is from 2008 to the year 2023. So if we will see that the wheat stocks have been on a increase and then a decrease, it means they are constantly going up and down, but the ratio of going up and down is manageable. But only in the year 2021, the government wheat stock has increased way too much, because this was the year of COVID, when the government increased its distribution from 5 kg to 10 kg. But now because the physical activities have again started and the situation is becoming normal, the government stock or pool of wheat has now again come down, and the year 2023 we will see that is 290.28 lakh tons. So, and this situation is very much manageable and is in hand. Now let's talk about milk. Few months back the milk was becoming a problem for the government as because of its scarcity, but now the situation has again come back, and in the time of February-March 2023 saw unprecedented shortages of the milk, because the winter-spring months are usually the flush season for milk when production by animals goes up. So what happens during the time of winters, first of all the sale does not get very much increased, and secondly during the winter times the flush season, that is the animals also they produce more of milk as compared to the summer seasons, because the summer seasons, because of the heat stress and the increased temperature, the productivity of the animal goes down as compared to winters. So during the winter season the animal produce and the animal's productivity increases to produce milk. But this time it was the opposite. This time it did not happen. The productivity of animals did not increase. So the prices of yellow, that cow butter, and skimmed milk powder which was sold by Maharashtra dairies, they increased and sold to rupees 430, 435 and rupees 315.20 per kg respectively. So the prices of cow butter and skimmed milk products, they increased very much, and the fear of shortages intensifying in the lean summer months. So seeing the soaring prices of the butter, cow butter and the skimmed milk, it was predicted that the fear of shortage was predicted, but thankfully the fear of shortage did not turn into a reality. An animal produced less during these summers because of the heat stress and reduced fodder, etc. But the Indian Meteorological Department, they have predicted a good rainfall this year, and which will keep the temperature down, so the heat stress on animals won't be that much. And we have already seen that the early March there was rainfall, and in the end of April also there was rainfall. So in total the temperature is manageable, so the heat stress and the lean summer phase of the productivity of animal will not decrease, it will thankfully remain same. Then next comes sugar. So sugar is a very water intensive crop, and it needs a balanced situation for its production, and at present the situation is very much balanced, and it is a crop, water intensive crop, and needs a good rainfall for it. So if you look at this graph, this says sugar supply and demand balance sheet. So we will talk about the year 2022 to 2023. So first let's talk about the opening stocks. Opening stocks means that what is present at the starting of the year. So that is 17.23. Then gross production is 375. This is what is important, that how much is the gross production. Then the domestic consumption, how much are we consuming as a country, then that goes to 275.00, and this is in metric tons. Then exports are 63.00, and the closing stocks, that is at the end of the year how much is left with, then that is 57.23. So what is important for you to focus on is that the gross production is 375 and the consumption, domestic consumption is 275. It means the consumption is fine and the production is much more than consumption. So the situation is balanced in the case of sugar, and because the production is more, so we are able to export also, and at the end of the day the closing stocks is also what we are remaining with. So the situation in the case of sugar is fine. Then edible oil and pulses. So the prices of edible oil actually increased at the time of Russia-Ukraine war, because that is when the global supply chain was affected to a greater extent, and the prices of the edible oil reached and skyrocketed to another level. But now the situation have become fine because the global supply chain have also restarted and have started to work normally. So the edible oil global price crash has made imports viable to cover significant domestic crop shortfalls, and the prices for imported crude palm, soybean and sunflower oil. So sunflower oil, soybean and crude palm, its prices reached and skyrocketed during the time of Russia-Ukraine war, and the few of the example was became in the range of $1,800 to $2,200, but now it have again come down to $900 to $920 or $1,000. So the situation of edible oil has now become normal and balanced because of the opening of the global supply chain. And then comes pulses. One of the biggest source of comfort for the Indian government is the stock of chana, that is chickpea, which we call chana in our daily life. So we have a huge stock of chickpea in our country, and this is what gives the major confidence to the Indian government and also the Food Corporation of India. So there is ample chana stocks plus import of masoor dal, that is red lentil, which can partially replace arhar or tur dal. So the chana stocks is what is giving us confidence, and the import of red lentil. So this was about pulses. So pulses we are producing fine, and overall also the situation of, I would say, the milk, sugar, pulses, edible oil and wheat is very fine. And what makes us happy as a country and as a consumer is the coming down the rates of the edible oil. In the end, a prelims MCQ, so you people need to tell me the answer in the comment section, and that is with reference to the cultivation of kharif crops in India in the last 5 years, consider the following statements. So this question came in the year 2019, that is area under rice cultivation is the highest, area under the cultivation of jowar is more than that of the oil seeds, then area of cotton cultivation is more than that of the sugar cane. You have to talk about the correct statement, and I have changed the options because nowadays if you will see that the options are becoming way more difficult than the questions. So I have changed the statements, that is only one statement is correct, only 2 statements are correct, or only 3 statements, or none of the above given statements are correct. So try to solve this question and give me the answer in the comment section. And that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Till we meet next time, keep reading and keep writing.